I'm super cheap and frugal, so I would go to Walmart and spend like 10 or 15 bucks, or maybe I'm just making it up, but maybe I haven't bought them in so long. It used to be that much. I went into AutoZone and it was like $70. So I was like, these better last me for 52 years. Hello Snack Pack, welcome back to Travel Snacks. Today's episode is all about immediate van fixes when I first started traveling in my van full time. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you the 8 things that I had to fix right away in order for me to enjoy van life. So let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it. Number 1. After the van build was done, I left my parents' house and got on the road to Texas. It was going smoothly. Well, not too smoothly. You saw that video. So I'm driving on the darkest of all nights, and there's just this light that's just piercing my cornea. Oh my gosh, what's happening? And I just kept looking down, and it was like coming from this direction. Is it my GPS screen? And so I put my hand over the screen, and that was it, stabbing my eyeball. My first thought was to just put a napkin over it so that I could still see the directions, but it wouldn't be too bright. And I did this for a few days. I wasn't even thinking straight. I was like, oh my gosh, this is just the way it's gonna be. My eyes are always gonna be pierced with light. And then I started thinking, in the settings of this screen, there might be a dimmer. So I went into the settings and found that you can dim the screen, duh. So ever since then, it's been great. And it actually sets to like a darker mode at night. So it worked out. Number 2. So my van GPS system, it has a CarPlay feature. So when I plug my phone in, it mimics what's on my phone so I can use Google Maps or Apple Maps or whatever maps. Once I plugged my phone in and started doing the Google navigation, homegirl Siri was just talking up a storm. Every time I would be on the phone, the person on the other end could hear all the directions that I was making.
Turn right here. In 3/4 of a mile, you'll be exiting. Turn left here.
Blah, 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 talkie. I was like, oh my gosh, shut your face. I went into the settings on my phone and shut that off immediately. Number 3. So the first night I slept in the van, it was very apparent that I didn't like having all my windows exposed, even though I have a very dark tint on the outside. If you turn a light on in the van, everyone can see in. So I knew that I immediately had to make some window coverings, which proved to be such a chore. So now I have window coverings that not only help block out the heat and the coolness a little bit, I can close it up so that nobody can see in. It just feels more private in here. And then once I'm parked, if I'm at a beautiful location and I just want it to be open, I could take off all the window coverings and just put them on the floor or whatever. I'm so glad I have my window coverings. And you know what else would make me glad? If you become part of the Snack Pack, all you gotta do is hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, throw a like on this video, and keep watching till the end. We still have 5 things to go through. Number 4, I guess I didn't do that good of a job securing the cabinets. And when you're driving a lot, things are shifting and shimmying all over the place. So I had to go back in and secure the cabinet doors a lot better. My junk drawer, I had to install this latch so that when it closes, it has a snap. And these 2 cabinets, every time I would come to a stop, they would just roll open and just keep going in and out. So I had to secure it with this type of latch, which proved to be quite an issue because I couldn't get it on this side because of the way that the cabinet is built. You can see here that I installed the ball bearing thingy, but I can only get it on this side because I couldn't get it to line up, so there's just a hole over here now. It just locks into place and it's pretty secure. Now this one was a problem because there was nothing up here to attach it to. I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it, and I couldn't really come up with a proper solution. So one of my snack packers had a smart idea to drill a hole into the side of the cabinet and into the drawer, and then stick one of these pins in here, this little, whatever this is called. I put a piece of tape on it because sometimes as I'm driving, this will shimmy out. So now the pin goes through this hole and the outer hole. And I also installed the little ball bearing latch here too, but it wasn't strong enough, even though it's on both sides when I came to a stop, because it's a heavy drawer with a lot of stuff in it. So now when I close it down, this goes into both the drawer and the side here. And that's it. Number 5 is to get new windshield wipers. My dad told me I had to do 3 things before I started going on my journey. Get new windshield wipers, install my CO2 detector, and get a good flashlight. So I went to, I think, AutoZone and got these new windshield wipers for the journey ahead. And let me tell you, I don't know what the heck, because all my years of getting windshield wipers for my cars or whatever, I'm super cheap and frugal, so I would go to Walmart and spend like 10 or 15 bucks for a pair, or maybe I'm just making it up, but maybe I haven't bought them in so long. It used to be that much. I went into AutoZone and it was like $70 for a pair of good wipers. I was like, these better last me for 52 years. And there was a $10 rebate, so I guess it wasn't that bad, but still super expensive. You should always check them, especially if you're gonna be in a rainy environment. Number 6 is a side mirror. The next thing that was super important was to install this little bubble mirror on my side mirror, because every time I would come to a place where I'd have to look to the right and see oncoming traffic, I couldn't see because my windows are covered and I have a curtain up and everything. So I picked this up from Walmart for like $5, and it just sticks on, and you can adjust it and turn it to how much of like a wide view that you have. And it's been the most helpful thing, of like pretty much one of the most important things to have, because with a big vehicle you can't see when you're turning. Number 7 is one of the items my dad said I had to get to be safe on my journey: a CO2/smoke detector. One of my good friends, Melinda, gifted this to me for my van warming gift. I kind of hesitated to install it because I thought it was gonna be very involved, but it really wasn't. I just had to screw it in and then twist it on, and it's been on there. Now, I'm not really sure why I need a CO2 and smoke detector unless somebody lights my van on fire from the outside, because I don't think there's anything in here that's gonna blow up, but you never know. It could be an action adventure, which I hope doesn't happen on the van. I think it's probably good to have it for some reason. It's there. And number 8, more lights. Along with the CO2 detector, it has a very bright flashing green light that goes off every like 60 seconds. And I'm talking, the first night I had it installed, I went to sleep, it was dark, and my eyes were closed, but it felt like somebody took a picture in my van. I was like, what's going on? So I opened my eyes and then it flashed on again. It's that bright. I do want to see the green light to make sure that it's working, but I don't want it to blind me. I put some surgical tape or medical tape, 3 layers, so it's kind of see-through, but it's not as bright. And similarly, I have a panel on the side of my cabinet here that controls my water pump and my gray water emptier, whatever you want to call it. And this thing has the brightest blue lights ever. Now, again, I still kind of want to see the lights to make sure that I know when it's on and off, but I lay in this bed and it's right in my eye when I'm trying to sleep. So I took a black marker and just started marking all of it off. You can still see the blue lights, but it's a lot dimmer than it was. So the lighter blue ones are the ones that are marked. This one is on, so it's a little brighter, so you could see it better. There's a bunch more things that I added and changed and had thoughts on and was like, that wasn't a good idea. And I'll speak more about those things in a future video. If you're doing van or car life or truck and camper life, what are some of the things that you realized immediately had to change when you had your first night in your vehicle? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, bye for now. Today's episode is all about some van. Why don't I rehearse this ahead of time? In today's video, I'm gonna give you the first time, the minute I sat in this car, this is not a car, after play, where when you plug it, so I got on, so the first night in the van, I'm at a beautiful location, what the heck, and keep watching to the next thing. This, I just got $5. Why is it so flippin' loud? So